The last 2 episodes were a breeze in comparison to this one. Anna and Donna, sure, married their respective douches, but at least their physical integrity was intact. That is the difference here. This is the story of a disgusting man who had a disgusting addiction and found himself a teenager doing disgusting things until that teen ruined her life by attempting to end the life of her lover's wife. Mary and Joe met in high school. Joey was this class clown tiny guy, but in one summer he got buffed and Mary was more than okay with that. They started dating and were a lovely couple. 5 years later, they got married in a beautiful ceremony. Reality was, they were deeply in love with each other, like genuine love. They settled and Joey found a job in an Autopart shop. They were a wonderful couple at the beginning. But like any era and place, following new trends can sometimes be a very bad idea.
In the late 70s, cocaine got introduced into our lives. It was this great new drug, and you don't have a hangover. I mean, we bought into the hype.
Mary got pregnant and dropped the dope, but Joey continued. Even worse with their second child. The dude was hooked on that thing and completely lost himself. Mary was dealing with 2 small kids and an addict. That's quite a task. She will give him ultimatums, either you quit or we divorce, and every time he will apologize and beg for a second chance, only for Mary to forgive him and he will binge again. And the cycle continued for a long time. Something you must know about Mary is that she was born into a very religious Catholic family. They taught her to be a wife and a mother, and she wanted that for her. She felt her existence was to be a mother and to have a beautiful family. And if there was something wrong with it, nobody must know. So even if Joey was disrespecting her family and the house they built together by disappearing on his coke binges for days, she will always forgive him because her roots were too cemented for a change of hearts.
He was sick. He had to go out of town on business. I mean, it was pathetic how much I kept this in.
My dad was, in my eyes as a kid, my hero. I was totally oblivious that my father had a drug problem.
Mary thought moving was the best choice for everyone. They returned to their childhood town and settled there. But problems don't just stay where you leave them. Joey carried the addiction with him, and with a vengeance. So Mary realized she needed help. She discussed the problem with Joey's parents and pushed him into rehab. The weirdest thing, Mary told her kids their dad went to Disney. Why did she pick Disney? Out of all the places in the world, the kids were pissed at him. Joey left rehab as a new man. He was not crazy addicted anymore and the family was doing great. Joey found a brand new self-esteem and wanted to show it off. But I think he went too far. See, most addicts that conquer their addiction trade them to another. They become smokers, addicted to coffee, work, etc. And Joey was not the exception. Mary found out what her husband's new addiction was on the morning of May 19 of 1992. Someone rang the doorbell and Mary answered the door. It was this teenage girl who started yelling at her, telling her that Joey was having an affair with her young sister. Mary asked for proof and this girl, who called herself Anne-Marie, pulled out a t-shirt from Joey's Autopart shop. Mary told this Anne-Marie girl she would call Joey to sort things out, turn around and open the door to go inside the house, and then she saw a gun pointing at her.
And that's where it landed, in the side of my head.
Next thing you know, my mom was on the floor.
Anne-Marie ran off, leaving Mary Jo lying in a pool of blood on her front porch. Luckily, a neighbor spotted her soon after and called 911.
When Mary woke up, Joey was there alongside police officers who asked her if she knew who did this to her. Mary couldn't talk because she had a tube down her throat. The right side of her face was paralyzed because the bullet was still inside her head. The doctors couldn't remove it because it was dangerously close to her spine, so it was either her face being paralyzed or her spine. Mary wrote the name Anne-Marie and then the t-shirt the teenage gave as evidence. Interesting thing about that t-shirt, it was a brand new print, and Joey knew exactly who it belonged to.
I've only given one of these out, and I gave it to Mr. Fisher's daughter. They said, "Who's Mr. Fisher's daughter?" And he said, "Amy Fisher."
Mary asked Joey why this random teen wanted her dead, and Joey told her the teen had grown an insane attachment towards him, which, to be honest, it was not a lie. But the fact he was so open to talk about her and claimed he never touched her, Mary believed him, or at least she wanted to. The police didn't, and Joey was charged with statutory rape because Amy was 16 when they allegedly started to hook up. Plus, there was evidence of a motel receipt with his name and his signature. Joey claimed it was forged, and Mary believed him again. He spent 4 months in prison. Amy was a teenager whose parents were absent. She was looking for affection, and then Joey appeared. She wanted attention, and Joey's ego wanted to be enlarged. Oy, wrong word. Mary not only was shot in the face, but her life transformed into a circus. When she was discharged from the hospital, the media was waiting for her at her house. What a bunch of creeps. Mary just wanted to heal and to have a family back to normal again. But it didn't last long before Joey was caught soliciting prostitutes on a trip to LA. He was arrested. They were infamous in their hometown, so they moved to LA. You know, where the prostitutes lived? Thinking it would be the best choice for their family. A fresh new start. Mary didn't want to accept it, but she checked out of the marriage a long time ago. She was mentally exhausted. So exhausted that a couple of years later, she filed for divorce. It was finalized in 2003.
After the divorce, while Mary Jo moved on, Joey was still up to his old tricks. He was arrested for insurance fraud in 2003, and in 2008, a sex tape of him and his current wife was accidentally leaked.
Now, this is where I'm confused. Not with Mary, but with the show itself. This news clip shows that Joey had an intimate tape leaked to the public, but it was actually Amy's tape. After she was freed, she became a writer and a journalist, but her life changed again when a tape she made with her husband at the time, Louis Bellera, was sold to Red Light District Video, a company. Louis was the primal suspect and Amy separated from him. For some reason, this guy convinced her this was a great business opportunity, and she later became a porn star. She later divorced in 2015. Joey did remarry in 2005 to a Croatian woman, a year after he was in prison for vehicle insurance fraud, and the same year him being accused of illegal possession of ammunition. He spent 4 months in prison in 2007. Amy and Joey are attention seekers. They jumped from TV shows to game shows to court shows, but the interesting part is their reason. They are quite different. While Joey is obsessed with himself and thinks he's the best thing that ever happened to us disgusting mortals, Amy wants attention and will submit to the one giving her the time of day. Joey used her as a toy, and she let him just because she was lonely. Then her ex-husband used her story as a business opportunity, disregarding her feelings and opinions. And she accepted it, even becoming a porn star, to clearly damage people. Amy could use some therapy, but Joey's son had it best here. According to the story, Mary's oldest son told her he thinks his dad is a sociopath. Mary didn't know what that meant, so she looked for the definition and was amazed at how perfect it was. That was Joey, to the T. She wrote a book about it. She also had facial reconstruction surgery to make her face look more symmetrical. And probably the icing on the cake, she found someone to love. A normal guy with no baggage. Mary finally understood that it's okay to be a little bit selfish. She spent decades being a people pleaser and put herself on the back burner. And now she is taking it slow, enjoying her freedom and finally realizing what true normalcy feels like. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section and don't forget to subscribe and give the video a like. Here is Sean Connery look-alike dude who had so much free time he started conning people for a living, including his wife. Thank you for watching.
Are you guys back together romantically?
We are.
We are.
We are.